Hello and welcome to Here's the Thing with Robbie and Jose, where we explore relationships through a male and female perspective. With me as always is the lovely Robbie.
Happy Halloween, Jose.
Happy Halloween. I wish I could do, what was the guy's name from the Thriller? The guy, what's his name? Vince Price, right?
Okay,
Something Price?
I don't know.
The one, you remember.
Yeah, but I don't know their name.
He had a little, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't do his voice.
He was like a narrator, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, who's a good actor, but yeah, Thriller. Oh, yeah. But anyways, yes, this is the Halloween episode.
You know, made me think of like when you were growing up, like the 80s and 90s. They had every show had like a Christmas special or whatever, like Saved by the Bell or whatever. And it's like this is our Halloween special.
It is. I think Charlie Brown does one still, right?
Oh yeah,
like
the Great Pumpkin or
yeah,
Big Pumpkin. Or,
yeah, and I think like Scooby Doo used to have some.
Yeah, The Simpsons have one every year.
Simpsons, oh, that's classic. I love
the Simpsons Halloween one.
It's a little dark sometimes, though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It sometimes gets a little gross, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't really think that show is a kid show.
It's not, even though it's an animated show.
I know. But I mean, like, it's not as bad as like Family Guy. Like, Family Guy is super crass. But like The Simpsons, I don't think we were allowed to watch it when we were little.
You shouldn't. It was, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm
the
saying.
Halloween specials in particular were bad. Were really, I mean, not bad, but you know what I mean? Like not kid appropriate.
Yeah. I think my favorite one is when they redid The Shining.
Yeah, that was a good one. I think I've seen all of them, if I'm not mistaken, because they run it on whatever it is. FX
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
I seen that.
So sometimes right around Halloween they would just run because there's like 30 of them or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I think they do it for the whole month of October. So I think it's Bravo or some network, and because they'll like play Hocus Pocus every day, and then but they come out with a calendar. And I remember they had Simpsons, like it'd be like, oh, Halloween specials 1 through 5 is tonight or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love Halloween. So Halloween is probably, let's say, my second best or favorite holiday.
What's your first?
Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
why is it better than?
Why is it better? Yes, of course. Well, because it's Thanksgiving and, you give thanks and stuff. And, maybe we'll do a show about that one.
We'll give thanks every day.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. But yeah, it's a unique holiday in that, you stop and say thank you. Right?
Well, Halloween
I think we should all do that.
Yeah. Halloween is my number one. And my birthday is in October also. So I remember growing up and we always had like Halloween themed birthday parties for me. And it was really cool.
Yeah.
My dad,
all the kids would dress up and stuff?
Sometimes, but my dad was very artistic. And so every year he would come up with these like elaborate scenes and the whole concept. Like he just did a bunch of stuff. He really liked that too.
The house, was it all decked out?
Yeah, it was like
he'll spider webs.
Every time it would be like something different. I remember one time he made it in our driveway because we had multiple vehicles. He made it look like there was a wreck and there was a body hanging out. And then we had an old celebrity, the one looked like the old cop cars.
Yeah.
And so he made that up to look like a cop car with the siren and stuff. Nice. And so it looked like there was like this scene and it was really cool.
How long did it take him to do all that?
My dad put in a lot of effort for these things for my birthday. I mean, he loved it, but I mean, it was always really fun in my family.
I think it brings a kid out in everybody. You get to dress up, and I think as adults, and don't get me wrong, there's an erotic side to it. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's fun. It's really really fun. You get to be creative.
Yeah.
Your kids get to dress up. Like again, you don't get to do that very often.
And you get candy. That's the best
you
part.
Get candy. That's true. You get a lot of candy.
I love Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't get to dress up much as an adult, and I wish that some people I knew would have costume parties because I would really like to do that.
Like Eyes Wide Shut costume parties?
No.
Masquerade? Like, what are you talking about?
No,
here?
not that. I'm trying to think of what I would go as, but like I don't know. I could go as like Cher from Clueless, and that would be fun. I don't know. It's just it's fun.
It would be fun. Yeah, I mean, I love Halloween. Halloween is fantastic. I will say this: when I was growing up, I grew up in the hood. And people didn't always have candy.
What were they giving out?
Sometimes you get like a penny. Sometimes sometimes you would get pennies. I remember getting pennies.
I've never heard of
Yeah, one time I got a cigarette. This one guy.
Oh my God!
It was. I remember distinctly. We went over to his house and we were trick or treating. And I was again in the hood and I was by myself, so I wasn't quite a teenager, but I wasn't little either.
You were like 11 or
Like
12?
11 or 12 ish.
Okay.
And we went over to his house to trick or treat. And he came out and it was this guy. He's wearing a t shirt, and,
A
and
sports vest?
he was like, "What do y'all want?" And then we're like, "Trick or treat." And he was like, So he reached into his pocket. He took
Oh
out
my.
his cigarettes and he like took out a few and like passed them around to everybody. Here you go, get out of here. And then we all left. And we're like, "What?"
That is horrible. Was that the last time you went trick or treating? When you're like, that was
No,
like,
that wasn't the last time. I mean, I think I waited a little bit more, but yeah, it got crazy. It got absolutely. And I heard, and I never had it in my neighborhood, but I heard sometimes you would get apples and stuff. But we were always told not to take any like fruit or anything other than a wrapped candy. And even then, always had to have your mom scope it out to make sure that nothing
which was
was
blown up. That's all a myth. But
whatever. But it scared the crap out of
oh,
everybody
for
for
sure.
sure. So
I remember the last year that I went trick or treating, and I think I was the same. I was probably like 11, but I was pretty tall for my age. Like I shot up really quick. Like I was the
Yeah.
tallest one in all, like my whole class, even the boys.
yeah,
And so I had dressed up as like some kind of rock star. I remember I had like blue lipstick and a pony, like a side ponytail. And like I just had like a normal, I think it was like a lime green sweater vest kind of thing.
yeah.
And an adult lady walked past me and said, and sorry, I'm going to say a bad word, but she said, "What are you supposed to be, a slut?" And I'm like 11. Okay, let's please remember. And I remember being shocked, and that was the last year. I was like, well,
Why?
I guess
What was that the last year? You can't let some.
because that lady was basically
Upset.
she thought I was a teenage whatever, and I was like, okay, I guess I
Ah.
look too old. I'm out of that kiddie stage.
Yeah.
But that woman,
I mean, what are you gonna do, right?
it was horrible. Why would you say that? Even if she thought I was 15.
Well, I will say this, right? I when I was a kid, I remember dressing up. I don't remember adult females getting all in their naughty costumes for Halloween.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly new thing.
I mean, new in that it didn't happen when I was a kid.
No, I
right?
don't remember.
Moms
seeing it.
didn't dress up, period. If anything, dads dressed up, but I don't remember. Well, I guess moms could have too.
My mom did.
Yeah. But even then, it was a wholesome dress
Yeah,
up. It
one year we went as like the Flintstones, like it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, exactly, something like
Right.
that. But moms weren't wearing like a naughty nurse
No.
outfit. And you know what? I see that, or like a Catwoman outfit. So when the kids come trick or treating around my house, I will see the moms, and they're like, "Wait a minute," because they're walking around in like a naughty kitty cat costume or a
know-
nurse, and I'm like, "Okay."
I bet you
right.
like a man was like back in the 80s or whenever he was like, you know what? I want to see these women in something better than like goblins or whatever. And some dude created this whole like wearing lingerie as a costume thing.
Maybe so. But it's a wonderful holiday, and so with the relationship, right? Usually there's couples. So when your Halloween comes around as a couple, you have to start thinking about it.
Well, it's actually a good segue because what you were just talking about. So if you were in a relationship, would you want your girl to dress up? Let's say you're going to a Halloween party. Would you want her to do the really sexy route, or would you want her to be a little bit more conservative because you're out in public around
guess-
your friends?
I guess for me, if obviously I'm assuming that if we're going to go out, it was going to be an adult place because obviously if it's kids involved, no, she doesn't need to be wearing her fishnet
At the church potluck for
She's
Halloween.
A naughty police officer or whatever it is that
You're
they
under
are.
arrest.
Yeah, or naughty pirate. We don't need any of that when kids are around. But if it was an adult party and she wanted to, like, yeah, I don't care. It makes no difference to me. I just wouldn't want to do it around kids.
I mean, like if it was like super inappropriate, and let's say that you had some of your family and you meet your brother, like there's just people that are close to you, and maybe I mean I'm talking about something extreme, but like you'd be totally fine, like you don't.
Yeah, so me personally, I'm not a jealous guy. This is the way I've always looked at things, right? Because that only derives from jealousy, unless you feel like maybe that's going to embarrass me, which that wouldn't either. But the way I kind of look at it, she's coming home with me.
I know, but I'm thinking if I was in a relationship and we went to a Halloween party, let's say, and some of my family were there, and let's say his costume was tidy whities only for some reason, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's so inappropriate. It's not about jealousy for me. It's like I don't want my
But
family.
it's Halloween. You
I
can't be
don't want my family to
inappropriate.
see my boyfriend in
Junk.
his, yeah, I don't,
His
that makes me
junk
very
hanging out.
uncomfortable.
I guess if you feel comfortable enough to do it, what am I going to say?
I don't think that's,
No, not so much. You don't want your boyfriend's junk all over the place everywhere.
no. I just
Even if
think,
it's not
I
family, I
mean, it's
guess you would
not,
have
that's what
a.
I'm saying. I just don't think it's about jealousy. It's more just like, it's such a, I don't know, maybe I view it as more a private thing. Like if we were wanting, if we were, let's say that another date option,
Chances
let's
are you've
say,
already seen him without his tidy whities,
well,
but
I'm just
yeah.
saying we're staying home, let's say, and we're just doing a marathon movie night of Freddy Krueger's or whatever, right? And we both had some kind of scantily clad outfits for each other, and we're just,
Yeah, it's a different. You don't have to wait till Halloween for that.
well, I'm just saying that like that is fine. Like, what I just feel like there's something that should be a little bit private, and maybe seeing someone in a very revealing underwear situation probably should stay. And maybe I'm old school. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's obviously he would have to run it by you first and say, hey, are you cool with me wearing this? And if you say no, then you wouldn't do it. Obviously, you wouldn't walk out the house with them because
Yeah.
right off the bat you're already saying I don't want to see that, right? And I don't want my
Right.
family to see that. Me personally, if you're comfortable with your body and that's what you want to do it.
So let's say it's a party. Let's say your mom's there. And let's say for some reason your girlfriend's costume included just pasties and that's it on the top. You're saying that you're totally fine with that happening in front of your mother.
I'm saying that. That's what I'm gonna say. My mother's an adult.
Yes.
And if she wants to walk around with her stuff hanging out, what am I going to do? Stop her? Am I going to tell her, no, you can't do that? I can't. I can ask her maybe like,
No, I'm saying
don't,
your girlfriend wearing that in front of your mother.
I don't, I don't know how my mom, if anything would, I don't know. I
But
don't
that's what
know.
I'm saying. You would be fine with your girlfriend basically naked standing there in front of your mother trying to have a conversation over a glass of punch.
I don't know that I would go to a Halloween party with my mom. Just FYI,
I'm
let's
just
just
saying-
start
let's
from
just
that
say-
aspect because you're combining worlds that I don't know.
Okay,
that
so
I
let's say
would-
your brother, they don't have any little kids around. Let's say they're all teenagers or above.
Yeah.
It's your siblings and all that. They're having a party and it's a dress up party. I would assume your mom would probably be invited. Maybe she won't go, but let's just say she did.
I wouldn't invite my mom. Sorry.
But it's not your party.
Moms,
It's your brother's party.
Yeah, then I'm not going. I don't want to anything Halloween and my mom. Those two do not go together.
Okay, so if it's your brother standing there and your girlfriend is basically naked, you're still fine with that.
yeah, well, if it's again, if it's my brother, again, depends on what you mean by totally naked. Because I've gone on vacation, and when I've gone on vacation, it's all couples. If we're at a beach, everybody's in their bikini or tight clothes. So sometimes it's a little more revealing than you would normally. Well, what are you going to do? You're
That
at the
still
beach.
seems a little, well, I mean, I guess it depends because some women's bikinis or whatever, I mean, they could still cover everything. Like sometimes they're not.
So let's say one of the costumes was Baywatch, and she wanted to come as, you know what I mean? All it is just a red
Yeah.
one piece. It's pretty revealing still. Like you're walking around in
very
one.
revealing.
But what am I supposed to do, right?
You're like, babe, can you please wear a beach towel over just the bottom half at least?
But in general, no. I mean, if she feels comfortable enough to wear it and she feels okay to wear it, I'm okay with her wearing it. I wouldn't. Like I said, I wouldn't want my kids to see it. My brother, he's an adult too. He's a grown man. So if that's what I mean, but aside from him, everybody's gonna see it. Well, whoever's at the party, aside from my brother, there's gonna be other guys.
That's what I'm
probably.
saying. It just seems like some of that, depending on how revealing it should be, I feel like it should be kind of private.
I should, but like let's say Elvira, because she's the remember the show?
Right.
I forgot. Was it called the Elvira show?
I don't know, but I know Elvira.
Yeah. So, anyways, like she boosted up her, her top, and so it wasn't revealing, but it was like out there, right? It was like amplified. She was always wearing a dress, but some people might feel like, well, that's inappropriate. Like,
Yeah, maybe. I'd be okay with that because that's like,
that you're okay.
I mean, because honestly, if you go to the office, there's women showing cleavage everywhere. Like that's not, it's not really that taboo anymore. And so like, Elvira's everything on the bottom was covered and it was just cleavage. I really don't, I mean, I can see why some people would say that, but that to me is different than the Baywatch.
Well, but even if it's not the Baywatch thing, but let's say I've gone out many a times to very upscale restaurants where, like, if she sits down, she's gonna show everything.
Yeah.
And like, okay, like, you know what I mean? It's a very tiny, small dress.
Yeah.
If that's how you feel you want to be out there, then who am I to tell you not to?
Yeah, I've
I
done
guess
that
if I,
before.
I guess if I have a girlfriend that looks that sexy and she wants to flaunt it, I'm definitely not gonna tell
Yeah.
her not to. Like, go for it if that's what you want to do. Like I said, she's coming home with me. So
Yeah.
as long as that, I would have a more problem if she was going home with somebody else. Then I would have a problem. But if she's coming home with me, I don't care what you
How do you
dress like.
feel about like having a theme costume with your girl?
I
Like,
like it.
yeah.
I like it. So one time, I've done. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I've done it a couple of times actually.
Uh-huh.
One, I was like a killer, and she was my victim. And then the
Like
other
in real life?
no. Uh, no, but she got the blood and the fake blood and stuff,
Yeah.
and I had the knife. I think I was Mike Myers or something like that.
Uh,
And then the other one was a little more wholesome. We were pandas. We dressed up, and I still have that stupid costume too, because she bought hers and I bought mine,
how come you
and
didn't wear it today?
because well, yeah, I just didn't, but I still wear it. It's comfortable. It's very nice material, and it feels really good. So yeah.
It's like a onesie, right?
Yeah, it's basically like a onesie. Yeah, it's exactly like a
I really
onesie.
like couple costumes. When I see that out, I think it's really cool, but I've never had the opportunity to do that with somebody.
Yeah. The other time I was also Lucy Ricardo and
Ricky,
Ricky Ricardo. Yeah, I've done that before too.
that's cute.
Yeah,
Was she a redhead?
she was.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sweet. Oh yeah, it's even better when you kind of look like the character.
Mm,
That's really cool.
yeah. I'm Mexican, so it's under the Latino
In case you didn't
branch.
know,
But
have you ever met a Caucasian guy named Jose? Like full
uh,
Caucasian?
trying to think. No, I don't think so. But like Chuck Norris, his first name is Carlos, so you go figure. So he
If you're
just goes by
Caucasian and
Chuck.
your name is Jose, write in, let us know if you got a Spanish name and you're not Spanish at all.
Yeah.
I really like Italian names. I'm not Italian, obviously, but I really like a lot of Italian names. So like I
Yeah.
remember thinking like if I have a kid, like I'd name it like, I don't know, something Giovanni or
Fabio.
no, like well just whatever, right? Like I like Giovanni, things like that.
Yeah.
Gianni. Like it
Yeah.
just I like the way it sounds. But
Like
like
Italian thing.
if I had an Italian kid's name and they're like, well, you're Italian, I'm like, no. Wouldn't that make me look stupid?
Yeah. No, I don't think.
Or like, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm stupid, but like, I don't
No,
know.
no. I mean, well, and now that you say that, so my grandparents, they all had Italian names. They're from Mexico, but they had Italian names. So go
Well, I
figure.
guess, I
One
mean,
of them
it's,
was Apollonia, and the other one, his name was Cesario. But those are Italian names. But
yeah,
they were
but the
Mexican.
Italian and Spanish are very similar in the dialect.
Mm.
So, like, maybe it's
It's the
not that.
love
It's the
language.
language of love.
Italian, French, Spanish. I don't know about Portuguese, but anyways, yeah, it's a love
But yeah,
language.
maybe that's why it's not. Because if I saw that, I wouldn't think it was dumb. I'd be
Yeah.
like,
My,
but
my whole thing with the Jose thing is that you can pronounce it many different ways, and I hate it.
what's the other ways?
Well, because you can say Jose,
Uh-huh.
or you can say Jose.
Or Josie?
Yeah, some people call me Jose. Some people call me Jose. Some people Jose.
Uh-huh.
It depends on, again, if they're not familiar that the J
Uh-huh.
has an H sound. But anyways, we digress. We're talking about Halloween. We're not talking about my name. Halloween movies. That's what
Yeah.
I like to talk about. I love watching Halloween scary movies. So you get the popcorn out. This is what you do. This is how you have to do it.
Uh-huh.
You turn the thermostat all the way down so it's cold. So she wants to have a blanket, and then you get under the blanket with her. And so you make it nice and cold. You dim all the lights. You turn the music up, and then you watch the movie. And then she gets scared. She cuddles up to you and holds on to you, especially because they always have this dramatic
Yeah.
like sound, or it gets real quiet, and all of a sudden you're like.
I think I learned that kind of behavior from like childhood sitcoms. You know what I mean? Like like Saved by the Bell. They say you take her to the movies and you say, "Oh, go take her to a scary movie." That way she can,
She hug
whatever.
up on these guns right here. The problem is, you know what? I get startled really easily.
So you're the one jumping on her.
No, I don't jump on her, but like I get startled. Like when something
Yeah.
happens, I get startled and I jump. I tend to jump a lot because I
Yeah.
get startled. I don't understand people that don't. And so whenever something happens in the movie, I'll jump myself. I don't like hit her or anything like that, but I do jump.
Get out the way. So have you ever done like a movie marathon kind of date night, like in
Yeah,
scary movies?
we've done a few. I don't know if we did like a marathon. We probably sometimes I like to do it the weekend before, a couple days before the actual. Because once
Mhm.
it's Halloween, I have to constantly give out the treats and the kids
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that. I usually have a movie,
Mhm.
but see, some scary movies are harsher than others.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a very almost realistic.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch. Like she's not gonna want to cuddle.
Oh.
But if you watch like Scream,
Uh-huh.
that one's a great one to watch together because it's fun, it's light.
Yeah.
Even the actual original Halloween movie is the same thing. It's scary,
Yeah.
but not like over the top. Like Rob Zombie
Yeah.
does a bunch of scary movies. He like did a remake, and it's a little
Yeah.
too raunchy.
I like to for the whole month of October the same way I do with Christmas. I kind of watch scary movies throughout the whole month. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's like because the
Does it
thing that
put you on edge though?
no, I like it. I'll just watch things. I mean, I don't know that I always remember liking, or even something like and people are divided on this Nightmare Before Christmas. Is it a Christmas show or is it a Halloween show?
It's got Christmas in it,
I
doesn't
watch
it?
it for both though. I watch it at Halloween and then I watch it again at Christmas.
Yeah, until I've heard so much about that
You gotta watch
movie.
it. I know
I
you haven't
seen
watched
bits
it.
and pieces of it, but it's a musical.
I know, but it's still good.
Why is it that why do you like it? Let me ask you that. What
I
is it that
told you
about?
women love the macabre. We
But
just
is it that
do.
macabre?
No, but it's also about love,
It
which I
is
know you
about
like love.
love. It is.
So it's about that too.
So what is it? He just chasing this gal? Like she gets
No,
made or something like that?
she kind of more chases him. So
Okay.
she's the project of some creepy doctor guy, and
Okay.
she falls in love with Jack, and he doesn't really notice her at first.
What?
Yeah, because he's the big guy in town. Like everybody turns to Jack. Where's Jack? Where's Jack? You know, and so he's handling things down, and then I think he finds out later on that she's loved him basically, and then they're together.
That does sound sweet.
It's sweet. I think you should. And some of the songs are actually really good. I don't like musicals either, but some of those songs,
I'll have to
they're
take your
pretty
word for
good.
that. But let me ask you this. What about when you were talking about that? Because I think Tim Burton directed that one. Edward Scissorhands.
Uh-huh.
Is that, would you consider that a Halloween movie? Oh, look at you.
No.
Oh, I got you thinking already.
No, I
No?
think that's more of a love story, honestly.
Oh, get out of
Yeah.
here.
I think it's more
It's a
about
little
love.
dark and it has Vince Price in it too.
Well,
That was his
yeah,
dad or
yeah.
whatever. And then he died, and why he would put scissors on his hands is beyond.
Hey, he was working on him, and he had the hands left, and he was looking around for something. He's like, I got to put something on here, and then he died before he can finish.
Could have given him like sausages or something. Or like a multi-tool, like one screwdriver or one Phillips head and wrench.
I don't know.
But okay.
Is that better than scissors though, or just a bunch of tools?
You can't go in for a hug if you got scissors? Like how do you even after you use the restroom, how do you wipe?
Good question. I
mean,
never thought of that.
That's gonna be painful, isn't it? Like
How did he go to the bathroom?
you tell me, because he was dressed in full leather, and so
He was taking it off. Maybe he just didn't go to the bathroom because he
Maybe-
wasn't really human, right? So it's like maybe he didn't have to go.
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. So I don't want to dissect that. But do you have a favorite Halloween movie? Oh, see here, you don't.
Okay, I have some favorites, but they're too scary that I won't watch them. So like I really like The Ring, but it's so scary that like I haven't watched it in a while.
That's a classic.
I know.
Yeah?
I really like the first one
Why don't you watch it?
because it scares me. Even if like I'm watching it with someone, when they leave,
Yeah.
that I'm like in the dark and I'm by myself and it's scary.
Yikes.
What's your favorite?
Halloween. Always go to Halloween. I've seen all the Friday the 13th movies. Those are great.
They're coming out with another one.
They should.
No, I just saw
Oh.
the preview for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street is also a good one. I like the original one. I've seen the sequels were pretty good. Chucky. The
Really?
Chucky movies.
You like that?
I mean, it's Christmas. Christmas. It's Halloween. Excuse me. It's your Christmas. It's yeah, I like those. Yeah, for sure.
You don't watch that and be like, it's so corny? Or do you like it now because it's corny?
Yeah, I like it because it's corny,
Mm.
right? I don't want to get, like you said, The Ring. It frightened you from watching it. I don't want to get to that point
Yeah.
where I'm so scared that I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to watch it. I think some movies, like I know that they had one, La Llorona. They made one. I saw a little bit of it. It's based off a folklore in
Mm-hmm.
Mexico and whatnot. But let me ask you this. I know we're going to be bouncing around a little bit, but like when you were little, was there like a house that was like haunted and you didn't have to go over there? They told you don't go over there.
No, I lived out in the country. We didn't have
Well,
there
that's
wasn't
even worse.
really a lot of houses. Like we didn't do any of that kind of stuff. Like we did the things I told you about, the parties at my house. We didn't,
Yeah.
obviously we lived out in the country, so we couldn't trick or treat or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um,
But I just remember like when fall happens. I don't know if it's because the weather gets colder or
mm,
whatever, but there's something around Halloween. Everybody starts bringing out all these stories of people that have died and
mm,
been killed, and like that old house used to have
yeah.
this, and there was an old lady and that used to live there, and you could still see her walk by, and it just, and you know what they used to do. I don't know if you had this. I don't know if you remember this, but there was a radio station and they might still do it, and they would give little stories during Halloween,
Uh-huh.
and it would scare the living crap out of everybody.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, so they would always do little stories. I forgot one of them. Like supposedly there was a newscaster and he said something, and then he killed his anchor or whatever. But then like nobody remembered seeing it,
Uh-huh.
or like they were like, no, we didn't air that. But there was like reports of everybody said, no, we saw it.
Yeah.
And the TV was like the news people were like, no, that didn't happen. And they're like, but we saw it on
Mm,
air. It is like, I don't know what you guys, and it wasn't just one person, it was like multiple across the thing. So they
mm,
saw something that,
no.
didn't happen. And then like other stories about like the railroad tracks. There was always these little spooky stories that would come out
Mm,
of stuff that, I don't know. I'm not a superstitious guy, but when I was a kid, I was just like, oh, really? Really?
yeah.
That's why I was wondering if you had any like haunted house or haunted things
No,
that
I
you saw.
can't think of
Let
anything
me
like
ask you
that.
this: have you ever had a boyfriend that liked to pull pranks on you?
No, not necessarily, but it made me think of one time I was with someone and we watched What Lies Beneath. I don't know if you saw that
I
with
did.
Harrison Ford. Okay, and that was a pretty freaky movie.
I mean,
But afterwards, I had went to the bathroom, and I don't know if you remember in the movie she kept hearing whispering, and so he was out by the door
whispering.
whispering, and then when I came out, he was right
Jumped.
there. Yeah, and I got so scared. I started to cry a little bit because
Did you really?
yeah,
Did you
like
pee your
it.
pants a little bit
No,
too?
no. I had
Oh
already went to
man.
the
Oh,
bathroom.
that's right. Well, he scared the pee out of you.
But no, I mean not I that seems really mean. I know people do that in a relationship, but like I remember watching like Roseanne, their special episodes.
Yeah.
Roseanne and her husband on the show constantly pulled Halloween pranks on each other. That was like a thing they did.
Yeah, it's
Has anybody
fun.
ever pulled a prank on you?
No, no, but I with my kids, I sometimes like to scare them and
Yeah.
startle them. I shouldn't. I don't know why I started
Yeah,
that.
you're gonna
And
traumatize
and
them.
I stopped, to be honest with you, but what I'll do is I'll call them when they're in their room, and then I'll hide in a different location, and as they're walking, because they're going towards where they
Yeah.
thought the voice came from, and I'll jump out and be like, ah,
That's
and they
terrible.
always get startled. But I remember when I was a kid, um, they used to try to prank us,
Yeah.
right? So like it was right around that time when it was Halloween, and we would share, like scary stories and stuff like that. And there was always this one friend that would be on the outside and would like, and they're like, where did
Yeah.
that come from? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And then everybody would be quiet.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's see if we can hear it again.
We used to do that when we were younger. Somebody would like scratch the wall like this, and they'd be like,
Yeah.
"What was that?"
What was that? What?
Yeah. But let me ask you, in a relationship, do you, because there's a lot of Halloween date ideas. So I was thinking of couple like going to like a pumpkin patch, a haunted house, things like that. Do
Mm.
you prefer doing things outside, or do you like to? Are you more like a stay at home? I like to give out candy and be with my girl and maybe be dressed up as pandas or
I
whatever.
like I like going to Christmas party. I mean, God, why should we keep on saying Christmas? Halloween, Halloween,
We're
Halloween,
not
Halloween.
there
We're not
yet,
there yet.
Jose.
We got to get past. It's because we're probably already going to start seeing Christmas stuff advertised. But anyways,
I know.
I like going to Halloween parties. Halloween parties are the best.
Yeah.
I've gone to a couple of them. Usually they're older. Sometimes they can get a bit crude. I will give you that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. That was, okay. There was a noise in the house, and
Holy crap. All right. So let's wrap this up so I can get out of here. You have a good one there, Robbie. I'll come back and pick up my stuff.
oh my gosh.
What was that?
I
For
don't
real?
know. I'm sweating. That
Okay.
was scary.
Oh my
I think my
goodness.
house was settling a little bit.
Sure, that's what it is. This is the old house settling old trick. This thing's been around like 50 years, but okay, it's still settling.
Oh my
Sure,
goodness.
all right. Well, good luck with that.
It's settling to the new earth.
Yeah,
Like,
so
yeah.
whatever the case may be. Yeah,
That was.
it's
Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, a pumpkin patch.
a pumpkin-
Oh, you like?
No, I don't want to I don't want to talk about the pumpkin
Okay,
patch. I want to talk about the
you like going to
noises
Halloween parties.
if your house starts saying, "Get out." I'm leaving, just
Okay,
FYI.
fair enough.
Has there ever been a ghost in this house?
Stop. I don't even want to.
Because you remember Paranormal Activity.
Dude, stop. I'm going to have to go to bed alone. Like, come on,
Have
man.
you ever done that? I've done the Ouija thing when I was a kid.
I
by
did
the way.
too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did it give you stuff and make you feel all kinds of
I
different
don't
ways?
remember exactly, but I also remember trying to do that light as a feather, stiff as a board thing with my girl.
You witch. You witch.
Like, I saw The Craft, and we were like, this must
didn't?
be real.
It was a great movie, by the way.
Oh, I love The Craft.
I mean, I guess that's a Halloween. That's a Halloween movie. But yeah, but to answer your question, yes, I've never done a pumpkin patch in my entire life ever. I've carved out pumpkins. That's
Yeah.
always fun with the kids and stuff like that. And I've had a girlfriend one time, and she came over with the other kids, and we were all just carving out. So we had the stencil thing, and that can be
Yeah.
fun. But if you're asking me as a couple, I like going to parties.
Yeah.
Or events. So let's say there was a bar and everybody's dressed up. I love doing that.
Yeah.
But I like going to parties too because it's a little more, you can be more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because it's people you know, you
Right.
trust. And then it's fun to see everybody and how they dressed up and
Yeah.
figure out. Because there's been a couple of times when they don't always have to match. There was one time I went to this one party and the guy was dressed up as Dracula and his wife was dressed up as a Playboy bunny. So there was that.
What? Oh, I
It
thought you were
didn't-
going to give me a connection. Like,
No, there was no connection. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying. So
okay.
they didn't coordinate their
Yeah.
gifts. Their gifts, their costumes. I would have
why
thought
are you
that-
on Christmas so much?
I can't figure it out. I don't know why I'm Christmas.
I brought
on
up the night
brain.
before Christmas, and your
That's
mind
what
is
it
like,
is. That's
yeah.
what it is. It's throwing me off a little bit. But no, but that one didn't, because he would have done better as like Hugh Hefner. And actually, you know what? I believe her dad was at that party,
Oy.
and I think he was Hugh Hefner. Now that I think
Wait,
about
hold
it.
on. The dad. Okay, no.
Oh, either it was her dad or his dad. It might have been his dad.
Still, both.
It was inappropriate, right?
Wow.
They're not married anymore, by the way. But yeah,
Because she left him for the dad.
No, no.
Like, I want the better version of your son.
No, I'm trying to think. 'Cause now that I think about it, that's exactly right. And they did the whole shindig, right? They had the dry ice, so like the whole house felt like it was like
That's
foggy
really cool.
and stuff like that. But yeah, she was a Playboy
What
bunny.
if
and he was
you? What if
Hugh
you
Hefner.
showed up with your girl, and let's say you guys didn't match, and then there was another girl at the party that just so happened, like the Hugh Hefner thing. Let's say she was a bunny. Let's say she was super hot, and your girlfriend got like. Because they're like, oh, take a picture together. And now, because you know what I mean?
Hey, I want to go home with my girlfriend, so I probably wouldn't do it unless you can tell when your girlfriend is gonna be
Yeah.
uncomfortable with something that
You're
you
like,
do.
oh, I
But if
gotta
she
wake
was
up early
game,
tomorrow.
I'd be like, yeah, let's do this. Let's.
Yeah, I like the bar thing and parties. I like going to haunted houses with boyfriends because it's the same thing. It's like an event kind of thing. And
Yeah.
so I love festivals and all that kind of stuff. So you go out to, there's a big one in our area in Waxahachie, it Screams, and it's been around forever. I remember going to that when I was a kid, but it's
Yeah.
this huge, I don't know how many acres it is, but I love going out there with like my significant other and maybe you have some friends too.
Yeah,
And
it's
yeah.
absolutely fun. I've gone to haunted houses.
Because it's like cold,
It's
and then
bad
you're waiting in
experiences.
line, and then the guy's behind you, and you're all snuggled up, and it's sweet.
Yeah, well, if you don't have anybody,
We're talking about
it's just
relationships.
cold
Yeah, you're just
and
cold.
horrible, and I want to go home. Yeah, I can see that. I can.
Isn't
Yeah.
that weird how the holidays seem different when you're in a relationship?
Uh,
Changes everything.
Some things are good, some things not so much. But yes.
Like what?
Well, let's just say you have to, let's again, outside of Halloween, because Halloween's fun. But if you have to go to like visit their family and you don't
But
particularly
I'm
get
just saying,
along
if
with
you
them and
think
stuff.
about like Valentine's Day, your birthday, all the holidays, right?
Hmm.
If you're with someone, it's better than
Yeah,
being by
sure.
yourself on your birthday. What if you didn't have anyone to
Depends on the
celebrate?
person, I think.
Well,
If you didn't like that person, because I went out with this one girl once, and we were talking about holidays, and I remember bringing up Halloween because I was like, "Oh yeah, Halloween is great," and she was just like, "I don't like Halloween,
yeah.
don't like it at all." Like, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Because there's some. Here's the other thing. This is the bad part, right? Is that sometimes, and if your religion doesn't allow it, then you're
I,
pretty much done, right?
yeah.
Because you might enjoy and love Halloween, but if your partner is not all that thrilled about it, now you have some decisions to make
I
now.
have been in a situation like that where I was with someone who was super religious and they did not like Halloween and didn't really want to do much of that kind of stuff. And for me, I don't look at it as like whatever it started as. I just look at it as like it's candy, you dress up, it's fun. I
Yeah.
don't look at it like a demon thing. And it was a big thing for me and our family. Why do you
What?
keep looking over there? You're
No,
scaring me.
no, I just,
Did you see
I'm
something?
good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh
And now
my
I am a
God.
little paranoid. I'm not gonna lie to you though. Your house might be haunted. You need to walk around with some sage or something, man, and get the demons out of here.
Yeah.
Bless. You remember Poltergeist?
Yeah.
Oh,
This
Poltergeist.
house is clear. But I'm just saying that it is hard in that situation because Halloween does mean a lot to me. I have a lot of,
Yeah.
memories with that. And so it's hard when you're with someone who doesn't like it for whatever reason. Maybe it's not religious. Maybe they're just like, I think it's whack and I don't
Yeah.
want to celebrate it. It's like,
Yeah.
if you love it and you're like me and it's your favorite,
It's fun. Yeah. I mean, but those are things that, yeah, can become problematic. I mean, really, it comes down to compatibility. If they're
right?
just one of those types of people that, if they're way, and there's nothing wrong with it, but if they're ultra conservative, they probably won't participate in
I,
any of that
I think
stuff.
that in that situation, both people should find a compromise. And I have an example of a kind of a more neutral date idea for Halloween is in Dallas, and I'm sure they do it a lot of other places. They put on like a symphony, but
Yeah.
it's all Halloween music.
Yeah.
So something like that, it's actually, typically they have it as a bunch of candlelight only.
Yeah.
And so it's actually kind of romantic too.
Yeah.
And so like for if you are in a relationship with someone who doesn't like Halloween, I think there are compromises.
I think so too. I mean, aside from it's a time to, you can also like bring in the community, right? Which I think trick or treat, I don't know where it started, so I'm sure there's somebody out there like, no, you got that all wrong, man. He was started out as blah blah blah, and that's fine. However it started, I kind of like the thing when it kind of does bring a community, because I go outside, and it used to be my entire family would come over, my brothers, my sisters, my nieces, nephews. They would all come over to the house and give out candy with me. So we would have music playing
Yeah.
outside, maybe out some lights and stuff like that. And then people would come up, and then we'd give candy to the little kids,
Or
like,
cigarettes.
oh. Now it's vape pens now. We
Oh
don't
yeah.
do
Here's a
cigarettes
vape pen.
anymore.
Here you
Yeah.
go, little buddy.
Here's a jewel, man. Take it. But no, but I mean, it was just nice. It's cute. And most of the time we get people from outside of our community, but we get
Yeah.
people from inside it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's nice to see your neighbors and stuff, and they walk up, and I always get a kick out of little kids because they're having so much fun. So they're
Yeah.
like ninjas and whatever it is that
You
they
know what made me
dressed up
think of
as.
that? And I know this isn't relationship related, but I was just saying like churches do Halloween functions.
Sometimes, yeah.
So if the church does it, then why is it that I don't just realize that of like churches do
Some
that.
do, some don't.
Well, I've heard of a lot of they'll usually do like the trunk things where people fill their trunks up with candy and like in the parking lot to make it more safe. But
I
I'm
think they
just saying
call it something else. They don't call it Halloween.
they call it a fall festival.
Something like that. Yeah.
But I mean, the kids are still dressed up. It's still the same thing. So you're still celebrating Halloween, and you are the church.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But
Well, and
anyways,
even in the Mexican culture, it's the Day of the Dead. So this is when the
I
dead.
love sugar skulls.
I mean, so do I. But there's certain significances otherwise, right? And then I
Yeah.
think on November 1st or 2nd, it's the Day of the Saints. So there's another day, Day of the Dead, and then Day of the Saints. They just don't usually talk about the Day of the Saints too much because it's more cool to say
Well,
Day
they're
of the
already
Dead.
on Thanksgiving mode at that point. They're
They
like,
are,
it's November. Let's get the Christmas lights
but
out.
I like that because on the Day of the Dead, it also kind of it's there to remember the people that have passed away and stuff, and you get paid tribute, and there's a bunch of other different things that come out, and sometimes they're superstitious. So in the Mexican culture, there's so many superstitious things that
Mm.
come out. So it always, when I was a kid, I would always get scared, and they would they use fear to discipline.
In your
The
culture,
boogeyman
do
would
they
get
also
you.
do a lot of matching costumes with their spouses or whatever? Is that a thing?
Not that I know of in
Oh,
Mexico, right? So no, Halloween is well, I don't want to say it's an American holiday because I think
uh-huh.
they celebrate it other places. I don't know what it is, but what I know is in Mexico it's Day of the Dead,
Yeah.
so it's not Halloween.
But do
I don't
they,
think they give out candy either. If that's
so there's no dressing up or anything like that. There's
well for the
no,
dead, yeah, but
but
like
that's what I'm saying is do they do couple things like that in your culture?
I well that's what I'm saying. I'm American.
Well, I mean, but
Yes.
you, like your mother grew up in Mexico.
No,
Like,
that was not a thing. None of that
okay.
stuff was a thing. Neither is Thanksgiving. So even for a long time, and my mother, she became a citizen and everything, but she used to call it the Day of the Turkey for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's so
She
sweet.
and now she calls it Thanksgiving, but she used to just say that's when everybody eats turkey.
I'm
So
going to call it the day of the
Day
turkey
of the
'cause I love
Turkey.
it. That's really cute. I want to steal that from your little mama.
But now she calls it Thanksgiving.
Day
It's
of
like,
the
no, mom,
turkey.
it's Thanksgiving. But no, I mean, yeah, it's yeah, yeah. I think it sometimes brings the community together, and it is fun. And this is what I like about it. If you're a couple, whether you're coordinating your costumes or not,
Hmm.
it lets you become creative.
Yeah.
Even if you wanted to take it to the naughty side, it's still okay because it's the one time a night
Yeah.
or the one time in the entire year where it's okay.
Yeah.
If it's inappropriate any other time of the
Uh-huh.
year, but on this day, it's
You know what
fine.
made me think of in the movie Mean Girls when they show up and then she's like, "What are you supposed to be?" And she's like, "I'm a mouse, duh." Like she had on lingerie but mouse ears. It's so
But here's the
funny.
thing, and so I'll kind of take it into a little bit of the more adult side, right?
Mm.
So the thing about this is why I said I wouldn't have a problem with her dressing like that. So if she wanted to wear something skimpy or a little more revealing,
Hmm.
because what I have learned about women is if it's going to go down that night, she needs to feel somewhat desired and feel sexy, and she needs to feel that.
Hmm.
That's why I keep on telling you, like, she's coming home with me.
Yeah.
So if she's out there and let's say, and I don't know, I don't judge, right? But let's just say that you have the body
Uh-huh.
and you're showing off a little more skin that you normally would not do,
Right.
you might feel a little more sexy and be
Yeah.
like, you know what? I feel sexy. Like, because they're going to be checking you out
Right.
and they're going to want to desire you. Now, again, if you have your partner, you're going to go home with your partner. But there's that whole thing of, and you tell me, I don't know, I'm not a girl, but I would imagine that she's feeling really sexy and really desired and really, in the mood. So
Hmm.
when you get home, you best believe
Well,
it's
the perfect way to describe that is foreplay. That's what that is. The whole night you're looking sexy. Your guy has to control himself
That's what
for
I'm
the whole
saying.
party.
That's what I'm
I
saying. So
totally
why would
agree.
I say like, no, don't go out like that? I'm already gonna ruin the
Some
night.
guys,
I know, but that would ruin for me. I think that would ruin it because she's trying to have fun. Let her have fun.
I know, but I've been with some guys who, even if I wore something not Elvira status, but like a
Yeah,
little bit of cleavage, they had freaked out. You know what I mean? And
you
it's
showing
like,
too much skin.
yeah, at church. And they're like,
Oh well, at church, yes.
well, but I wasn't though. That's the
Oh my
thing.
god, that's
I
different.
wasn't.
Okay, fine.
No,
Okay,
I'm a
don't be going out
woman.
there like
No, I'm a woman. I have cleavage. What
okay,
I was wearing was no different than what I would wear to my job. Like it
okay.
wasn't revealing. It was nothing. But
Yeah,
because
but
I'm
it's
a
church. You
woman,
got to
you
be a
see
little more
just a little bit.
conservative. All
But I
right.
wasn't. If you saw it,
Let's
it
just put it this
wasn't.
way. So, like, let's say I had the body, which I don't. Even if I didn't, I might do this next time. But if I wanted to do like a Chippendales dancer,
You
right? Be
should.
without a shirt, just a bow
You
tie.
don't look like this, but Chris Farley did it. So
That's what I'm saying. I'm right there with Chris Farley. I'm
no,
on that
no,
level.
you're
So,
not.
but I would do that. Like, I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't feel sexy, and I know nobody's looking at me.
Yeah, but I
But
don't think for guys it's more of like funny. It's not like
yeah, well,
if you like, you know what I mean? Like
thanks, Robbie. Appreciate
no,
it.
not you. I'm just saying in general.
Look at this clown over here with this.
So like what's that guy's name? Johnny Knoxville or whatever. Like, he's in his tidy whities. No one's looking at that like
Well, no,
no, it's supposed to be
but
funny.
that's what I'm saying. If you're fit, like if I had the body for it,
Well,
let's say
he
I was.
wasn't in bad shape.
Well, so let me ask you the whole thing, right? So, like, if you were dating a dude and he was like ultra fit, right? I'm
Uh-huh.
talking about six pack,
Uh-huh.
chiseled,
Uh-huh.
and he wanted to do that, and he's like, relax, 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 easy, easy,
I'm just
easy.
going with what you're describing.
Yeah, yeah. But he wanted to go out as a Chippendales dancer. Would you be okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless my family was there. Or maybe even some of my I don't know, maybe if I had a girlfriend I didn't trust too much, maybe. But I don't have one, but just in case. But no, I mean I don't if you
No, I don't. Describe. Use your words, Robbie. Use your
I don't have any
words.
problem with that.
No, you're good with that?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, again, if you have the body,
I mean, if you have the body like that, you put in the work, you got to get your reward.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I feel about women, right? If and even if she did, and whatever the case may be, whatever she wants
Every
to
woman
wear,
wants to feel sexy.
sure. And that's what
Right.
I'm saying. And I want to encourage that. I want you to feel sexy. I don't want going out and messing around, but yeah, I want you to do that, especially if it's out of character.
Yeah.
Because I think there's even the most conservative of women, even and I might be wrong, but I think there's a little bit of a desire for excitement, even in the most conservative of women.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the ones that they just stay home and they read and do, I'm not even talking about church. I'm just talking about somebody that, again, dresses from head to toe, always covered up, but I think there's that element of I don't know, excitement that they're looking for.
Right.
And on that day, it sounds like you can, but that's what a holiday is, right? So, obviously you can celebrate with your loved one and take your partner out. You don't have to wait till Valentine's,
Right.
but it's the one day that you get to go all out, right?
Yeah.
It's almost expected. Same thing with gift giving. I can give you a gift any day of the year.
Yeah.
It just so happens that we wait till Christmas to give them to you, and you can give thanks every day, but we just wait for that.
Yeah.
So I think
Turkey Day.
Halloween, Turkey Day. Halloween is that exception. You shouldn't, and in my opinion anyways, you shouldn't try to taper that with your wife if she or your girlfriend or whatever. Now, if she does this on the regular, again, you already know what you're dealing with.
You're like, look at this outfit. Be like, babe, it's July 16th. What are you?
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? Is this supposed to be different than every other time we go out? But, if she's that way, that's fine. But
Isn't that weird, though, that how it's acceptable? If you go out to a bar and she's wearing some lingerie type thing, it's totally acceptable on that day.
Yeah.
But every other day, if you were at a normal bar and a woman walked in lingerie, you'd be like, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you did have a boyfriend like that and he was chiseled, he'd probably walk around with very tight clothes already anyways. So on that day, he just puts on a bow tie and says, here we go. And cufflinks, right? The French.
Yeah, right.
French cuffs. And he's like, I'm ready. You see that in Vegas a lot. I know you don't go out to Vegas, but they have the Chippendales dancers that you can take pictures with. And I have to walk by them and I'm like, God. Because they're usually like 6 foot tall and just chiseled and stuff. And here I am, 5'5", dad bod, just walking by. I'm like, geez. All right, guy. But I can't fault him for it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm the
He has
same way.
body.
Like I have never felt comfortable, even when I was younger, dressing up really sexy for Halloween. It just never. I would consider myself a pretty conservative dresser, and so I've never felt comfortable. But when I see a beautiful young woman and this is like, good for her. I wish that I would have been more confident, but I just wasn't.
And so that's the only difference between you and I is that you dress that way. You could dress the other way if you wanted to. Me, the only reason why I don't show off stuff is because I don't have the body. And if I had it, I would walk around shirtless all the time.
You are so hard on yourself.
No,
about that.
because I've seen what it looks like, and like you said, they put in the work. But if I had the body, I would totally do it. That's why I don't pass judgment on them.
You'd come over here with your shirt off and be like, well, I left my shirt at home.
No, but you know what I always wanted to wear is a mesh shirt. You know what I mean? Like a mesh shirt. I've always wanted to wear one, but obviously, I have, man boobs and whatnot. So it's not going to work.
You can wear it in your home. I'm sure your lady would like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm in between ladies at the moment.
Well, when you find a lady.
But yeah, no, it's yeah. Well, just a quick tidbit about that too. So when I'm at home, a lot of times I do walk around naked, which is pretty interesting. This is something for the view, for the listeners to.
Yeah, for all the ladies who were wondering, just in case you were
Well, you
curious.
know how it goes. Like you're. Let's say you get out of the shower and you're like you're hungry and you're just.
I need a sandwich.
Yeah, especially if you're running late, right? Because you're like, okay, you have to. Because
Yeah,
I
I've
have
done
long
that
hair
before.
and it has to air dry out. So I'm like, let me go make some toast, and while I make a cup of coffee,
Stay away from the
and
toaster,
if
though.
nobody's around, like who cares?
No, I
You know
get
what
it.
I mean? And most
Yeah.
of the time, if I am with a girl or girlfriend, they don't seem to mind.
Yeah, they're not going to mind. And they're also not going to mind if you wear that mesh shirt that you want. So just in case you were
And I
curious,
want to wear it out.
you
I
can.
want to wear it out.
You can.
I can't.
You
I
could.
can't.
You
I can't.
can't.
I don't want to be laughed at. Like you said, like, ooh, look, that's funny. Who are you supposed to be? Yeah, I don't want to hear all that nonsense.
I'm the mess t-shirt guy.
I like it, but yeah, I think yeah, Halloween is a time that, and here's the thing, and I would imagine that women like it a lot too because you guys are true crime. Not every woman, but it feels like every woman has that, and there's a certain element. I think when you're with a couple, I mean, when you're with somebody, right? The nice thing is that you have this guy and the thought process is, oh, he's going to protect me and he's got all these
Yeah.
muscles and all that other stuff. And I'm assuming that's what it's for. And for the guy, he probably fulfills that same need. Like, oh yeah, she's looking at me. I'm going to be protecting her and I'm her man
Yeah.
and all that other stuff. So I think it does kind of feed into it a little bit, just a little bit. Not a
No,
lot.
I agree because I like true crime too, and I don't know if I would just watch scary movies by myself. It would be.
Yeah, I don't.
It's much nicer to have, a man to
Yeah.
watch it with.
Well, and you say that, right? I remember, I remember one time. So I like watching movies, and I watch them with my kids, right? And so, in general, I don't like watching scary movies. I just don't like them. And the scarier the movie, I really don't like them. So whenever we're watching stuff, my kids used to kind of call me out on that. And it's like, Dad, why don't we watch scary movies? What, comedies, rom-coms, action, like every other genre? And I was like, I just don't like it because then I got to go to bed. I'm going to be hearing noises and it's going to drive me nuts. And I just don't feel like being anxious all night long.
Yeah.
So one time my kids started watching Insidious. I couldn't make it. So I was like, you know what, son, I'm going to go to sleep because I can't do this anymore. So I went into the bedroom. He was out there maybe 10 minutes by himself and shut it down really fast. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, I can't do it, Dad. I'm sorry. Like, I can't watch it by myself.
Yeah.
It's like you being there for whatever reason, he felt okay. But as soon as I left, he was like,
Yeah.
not doing this. And something must have happened.
Well, I mean, and I'm gonna say something very obvious, but like usually things are much better if you have someone with you, right? Like I said, all holidays, it just seems better if you have a partner. And it's okay if you don't. But for me, it makes it a little bit more enjoyable. So like
Yeah.
Halloween is a big one that I do like to have somebody in my life. And I think, all these different kind of date ideas that you can go do. It's just fun you can do it with your friends. I'm not trying to knock that, but if you're single, it's okay. It's fine. But like, it's fun.
Yeah, it's always fun with a partner. If you like the partner, then yes, it's fun. If you don't like the partner,
Then you can
maybe
prank
not so
them if you don't like them. Scare them, maybe they'll break up with you.
Yeah, because I remember my sisters and her boyfriends and stuff. They would always put on masks and try to scare us when we were kids. They would
Yeah.
always try to. They would always try to do something like that. I don't know what it was, but the girls would usually, like my sisters and stuff, they get scared, they get upset. They smack them a little bit, and then they feel good about it already. So I don't know. Maybe there was this element of that fear that women liked. I don't know. It was fun though.
Yeah, I love Halloween. And so, yeah, if you have any date ideas for Halloween that maybe we didn't mention, write and let us know. Here's the thing, 214@gmail.com.
Absolutely. And join us on Facebook and LinkedIn, and we're all over the place. So
We are all over the place.
yeah. And,
Wish me luck tonight because my house was making some
it is
scary.
haunted, and so paranormal activity. And you got it upstairs too.
Yeah, I don't know what's up there.
Ooh, yeah, your house is scary, by the way. Just
Really?
FYI. Yes, it's super duper scary.
Why?
Because there's like a lot of nooks and crannies and different ways and stuff like that's why I was looking around. Like every time I come to your place, I look around because I'm like,
Is there anyone here?
There's so many different ways that
Jose, why are you saying that? Don't say that. There are a lot of places to hide.
There is.
It's like a maze, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. And there's the way your house is set up. See, so on my house, right? I have like there's one side of the house is just pure brick. So there's nothing there. I don't have to worry about anybody because it's just a brick wall.
Yeah.
And then the rest, there's only certain here and there and this, that, and the other. But over here, it's all over.
Yeah, your house is very open floor plan.
Yeah.
My house is, I don't know, but it's, yeah.
It's different. It's different. So,
It
anyways, don't get murdered or anything.
Yes. Wish me luck, everybody.
Oh my gosh, something's gonna happen. No, I'm just kidding. It was fine, but enjoy the conversation. It was great, and Halloween and trick or treat and have fun.
Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat.
All right, until next time.
Bye.
All right, bye.